Now I am. This is the live stream. Doesn't matter, I think. I don't know. Anyone. Anyway. Hello, everyone. It's Thursday. It's that time. Hey, girl. Hey, Jay. Hey, Jojo. All right. I'm going to bring him on. The one that... Oh, low conditioned. Uh-oh, he's yelling at me from backstage. Here he is. Oh, I got to turn that off, huh? I just found out what my music is, you guys. Can you hear it?
No.
I'm the only one dancing to it. That's great. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
How are you? I'm good. Well, you know, it's been a week, but
yeah, it has.
Here we are.
I'm glad we're back at it. I missed last week, so I know the big new Father's Day and how that hit all of us. And just to jump right in with both feet.
Eric, your sound is icky. Your sound isn't very good, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Is my sound okay, you guys?
How about now?
Can't hear Eric.
Check.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Still Sassy. Hi, Justine. Constance. No, same. You are a bit low.
Can you hear? What the hell?
Oh, thanks, Sharon. Okay. Eric sounds tinny.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's better.
But now I can't hear you. Okay, so I forget why that is. Hold on.
I think we went through this last week.
I just plugged in. Okay. Say something.
Hello. Hello.
Okay, so that's not working.
No.
Pinch Becky. Because then I can't hear you. Let me see. Is this up? Yeah, it's up.
Hey, great gig.
Okay, so now would be shitty again. So let me try this.
That's better. Whoa. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but this is how it was before when everyone said it was horrible.
It's a bit better, though. Is it better?
Well, I couldn't hear you at all, so it's definitely better than not being able to hear you. That's really upsetting.
Well, something happened. No, it's better for you, though. Testing. Tony Hoban says. Yeah, see, it sounds good now. You sound okay now. Something happened.
Okay.
I love when you mistakenly fix things. I think that's awesome.
There is no other way.
I noticed I have 2 streams going today, apparently.
Oh, you want to know something funny? I never hung up with you on the phone. I was still on the phone with you.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Oh, because we were still on the phone. Okay, I thought that was weird. Like, oh. Anyway, hello. Here we are. Technical issues are over for now. Until the next ones.
Which should be any minute.
But yeah, the first thing I did want to talk about today, real quick, was the LA protest that Audit and Gina pulled the permit for, and I don't know what happened to the porta potty. Something happened to the porta potty. I want to hear about. I don't know what happened. I need to hear if they ever found the porta potty. I think the Scientologists stole their porta potty for the day, which is
I don't know
dreadful.
how that ended up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it went well. I'm glad they had a lovely day and it went well. I'm so wonderful. No problems. A lot of people showed up and I'm very happy for them. I'm very glad it went well.
Yeah.
So now I was already sitting at home. I'd watched Phil Anderson's video to his daughter.
Mhm.
And I've been upset ever since I saw it. And I wanted to do a video, but I'm like, no, this isn't about me. This isn't about me. I don't want to make it about me, but it really kicked me in the gut.
It's about all of us. That's how I look at it. I think it's about, we would all get the same fucking video. You know, that could have been my dad saying the same shit.
Well, that's just what I'm saying, because that's how my dad would have sat there same way, emotionless. Did you see any emotion in the man? Nothing. He's speaking about his daughter.
Down tone.
He could have said no. He could have said no to them. No, I don't want to do that. But he did. He made the video, which, number one, gross. But that's exactly how my dad would have. He always approached me, and that's what I've been trying to explain. You know, like I've told you a couple of times, Scientology always made me feel powerless, because my dad would come at me with this framework of, you are this. He would just pick and choose who I was, depending on what he read in a book or decided from his freaking chart who I was. He always told me who I was. I was never allowed to be myself. That's why I'm kooky now. I was never allowed to be myself. Now I am. I've always been a bit off because I wasn't allowed to be myself.
Yeah.
I mean, just a very strange dresser. Always look very fashionable. But just that vibe, that thing of, you are doing this and this wrong, and you need to come to terms with that. And now you need to do this and this and this to fix it. Like it was horrible. I always felt powerless against anything that came out of my dad's mouth. So when I heard Phil Anderson explain, number one, I already knew, because we've heard Laura's story. So we know how she grew up. He threw her away. Like what my dad did to me. They throw us away. Oh, no, you'll survive. You're your own being. You can take care of yourself. You'll figure it out. Not really. I'm a kid and I'm flailing in this planet. I need help. I need guidance. Never got it. None of us did, I'm sure.
Of course not.
I was wondering how everyone else felt about having a Scientology dad, if they felt the same way I did. I was like, I've been like, literally, it really upset me. It really upset me that he did that to her.
Yeah, it's
because he came at it with the words my dad would have said to me. So I did the same thing Laura did there for a while. When at the age of 21, I came over to America and I started drinking and doing drugs. And because he told me who I was, which wasn't very pleasant, I told him, I don't want to talk to you. And I stayed away from my dad for a couple of years because I was ashamed. He made me ashamed of who I was. And that shame still hangs.
I understand.
That's the healing part. That's the part that we have to heal, and it's so hard to get rid of. It really is. So I just thought that video was horrible. How could you do that to your daughter? Your daughter's putting on a protest because she misses you. She wants to see you. And this is what you release right before that? I'm sorry. I thought that was disgraceful in every way. I'm not calling him disgraceful. I'm calling the whole action of it being made disgraceful because I don't know him. But he just sounded like my dad to me. And Father's Day's never been my favorite day. I've never been able to celebrate it like anyone else. Go try and buy your dad a card. Oh, you were always there for me, Daddy. No, my dad was never around. Oh, you were the best. You taught me so many things. Nope. No, I can't get him a card. When he died, sorry, I guess I'm venting. I'm really getting shit out today. When he died, the hospice people, they put on, a bereavement group. You can go and talk about, just to get through it. I can't go to those groups. Everyone else, oh, my dad was such a lovely man. He took me to the father-daughter dances. I have nothing to say about my dad. I have no stories like that about him. I just want to sit there and bitch about him, and you can't do that in a room full of people who love their dads. So I could never heal the way other people heal with a Scientology dad either. You can't live with them, and you certainly can't live without them either. But I just thought it was horrendous. So did you feel anything?
To me, I'm so dead. Like, I don't have any.
Right, exactly.
I got nothing. I got nothing. Like Father's Day has never meant anything to me.
Right.
Like I said, I had to call him by his first name since I'm 3 years old. So
At least my dad didn't make me do that.
yeah,
But
and like
that was,
I understand how he was able to separate. Like, even if let's say Scientology gave me the boot, or not the boot because they need to have an excuse, but let's say, okay, that my parents found out I was drinking and drugging, and then my mom would want to help me stop doing that, okay, and find out how she could support that,
right.
and what I needed. But my father would say he would do it much more Scientologically, which would be, okay, right now, we're stopping that. From this moment forward, done. Okay. And if you don't, you broke up with me. Okay. I didn't tell you you can't come see me. You broke up with me. You chose narcotics over me. Okay. And he would have no problem at all. And I saw that disaffection in his face my whole life. So even when I thought, and I've said some of these stories, I won't go into them here, but there's plenty of them I could. But my point is, he would, even the things I thought would make him happy would come back to bite me.
Yes.
So there was nowhere to go, and then he would hit me with shit out of the blue, like I said. One of the most impactful things I ever experienced in my life was having him say, "I hope you lose," when I'm walking to a championship football game. I just asked if he was going to go, because he hadn't gone to any of the 25 games I played in. My mom missed like 2. So, but he said, "Why would I? I hope you lose." It's like, who does that?
Who says that to a kid? Exactly. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are. Well, I guess they did it because of their beliefs.
So I'm just saying, I grew up with that every minute of my life. It's completely normal to me. It just looked like another day in paradise to me.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's not good.
but what I want people to know is he doesn't believe he's doing anything.
I know.
Not even a little bit, because everyone goes, "How could you do it?" Because you're mind controlled.
Right. He did right. That's what I'm saying. I don't find Phil Anderson a disgusting person. I find the whole action of the movie being made. I know he didn't make it because that was his choice. He was told to do it. They knew what was going to happen that day for the permit, and they wanted to fucking break her heart.
That's
what they did, because that's who they are. They are.
I promise you, you could ask Phil, do you feel now or then that you at any time crossed a line by doing that interview. He would say, absolutely not. Your needle is floating. Thank you. Okay. And it's the same way my dad would be like, well, how would you need guidance from me any more than I would from you? If you were my father 1,000 years ago, like he wouldn't even let it even sink in. So I wasn't even his son, you see?
No, right.
So I had to come at him like an acquaintance where we're both 40 million years old or whatever. It was the stupidest, grossest shit ever. And, you know, he would just be like, be grateful I don't make you take more responsibility than you do, because there are some things I simply can't. Like, he couldn't ask me for rent because I had no way of earning it. Right? Yeah. Otherwise, I promise you he would have. Okay. You know,
can't be out exchange.
Yeah. That's what he would have said, you know, you ate $70 worth of food. I mean, my dad would have had no problem doing that. I believe. I mean, because you're either cult or you're not. Like, what people don't understand, I think, is they don't go in and out of the cultiness. When you are high, I'm talking about with Cheryl's dad, my dad, most Scientology dads, okay, that were in it when it was super, super culty, okay, at its height of cultiness. They don't have any trouble doing what they're doing because they truly believe they're right and they're certain of this. Certainty is a big, big thing in Scientology, right?
Absolute.
And our dads had absolute certainty in what they were doing with us was the proper way to do things. And that's why they could run right over us and then back up over us to make sure they didn't miss and not think twice.
Right. No, like neglecting me as a child. And then when I grew up and said, you know, didn't you think you should maybe spend a little more time with me and stuff? He goes, oh, I knew you would survive. And I remember sitting there, like, told me, what do you say to that? What do you say to that? So, oh, well, thanks, Dad.
It's like, how come he didn't throw in that hoop when I'm drowning? I knew you'd get to the fucking side.
Because he has no hoop. He gave it away to Scientology. There's no hoops to be had from that man. All the hoops were gone, given away to the fucking cult. So, yeah, Father's Day was rotten. I just spent it, and I've been not feeling well. I just think, you know, it just really affected me. It really did. So I've been in bed for like 2 days, 3 days. I'm glad it went well for them, though. I'm glad everyone that showed up and all kinds of, even Stephen Mango was there. Tori was there. Fat Grammy from Michigan flew out. I mean, there was just a whole ton of people there, just all kinds of people showing up. And
Rib Guy, way to go, Rib Guy.
Oh, yeah, that was, well, yeah, I was talking to him before he went, trying to get his tech to work. So funny. We're both really terrible at the three of us, I guess, we're just terrible techies. So I'm glad it went well for them. I'm glad, you know, it really went well. It was a good day for them. I'm sad we couldn't get to protest because apparently we're persona non grata, but that's fine. That's fine.
It doesn't make any difference.
We got a lot of stuff going. We got a lot going on over here. We've got a lot going on here in Cult Water. So
you would have been welcome. Anyone who would have said anything would have looked like a total idiot. So I would never let anyone stop me from doing shit. Period. No one's big enough to do that. And you know, but like I said, there was, you know, I wasn't going to be a part of it for my own reasons. Period. And I made those crystal clear, and I won't go back into them. But those were those. So we all have our reasons, and I don't try to justify my feelings any more than my favorite color. You know.
I just want us all to get along. You know, I just have that naive need.
But it's not about getting along. You can never get along with someone who's stealing and lying and trying to destroy something. while
Well,
they're
when that
smiling.
person's gone though, and things go
And,
well, you know where it was extracted. So that's why it went well, and no one was had to scream at each other.
yeah, I mean,
The
that's
only
why
people that I think didn't really see eye to eye, but they spent the whole day protesting because that's the point. The point is protesting Scientology. Like that's why you've been
well,
going out.
that's the
Was it
thing is
36 now? 37? What
you
number
would
are
have
you
to
up
put that aside. You couldn't see Aaron and then start screaming Darvo. You got to be adult enough to know this is about something entirely
Oh
different.
yeah,
And,
I
you
forgot.
know,
Yeah. There are a lot of people there. See, I wouldn't have been able to go anyway because I guess I don't know. They don't like me.
I no,
I don't know what
I
to
would
do.
never. Yeah, it's all good.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't have beef with anyone, but
it's all good. The bottom line is we're all doing our own thing, and we're all together on this, and everyone
well, that's
knows
it.
where it
We
is.
just got to keep going because the point here is to piss off Scientology. That's
Yeah,
the point, not each other. I've already
but
got enough going on out here.
the point is healing to me, okay, and that's going to happen different for all of us in our own way, in our own time, and it's going to be different for all of us. Okay, a
Right.
lot of things will be similar, but there'll be a lot of things that aren't. And um, there's days, like I say, where I don't want to talk Scientology. There's days where I don't want to think about Scientology, and that
I know.
a lot. Okay, I force myself to do it, and that's okay. It's healthy, like I say, especially when it's no longer as difficult to do. It'll be good, but it's not my favorite subject, and but I know I make a significant difference by saying what happened to me and letting my feelings be known because, um, like I say, I'm rather uncommon in my journey. So I am able to give actual perspectives on stuff that most people could only guess, you know.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so
And like I say, every time you tell your story, someone hears you and you're helping them somehow. And there's a lot of, like, for example, JWs that follow the ex Scientology. Poor people. I mean, but yeah, they have been through enough. But like, we have a lot in common with them and with the Mormons and stuff. So yeah, it's funny. A friend of mine, I've been a very nervous human in my life, and at one point, a friend, the place I worked in, this hair salon, everyone had done the forum, the landmark forum, and my one friend Dennis, he was all up into it. He did all the courses. He really got in like head first. Now he's a born again Christian, but back then he got me into the forum and how to think. You see where you sabotage yourself in life and you stop acting like a dick to yourself, kind of thing.
okay.
Well, he's still trying to tell me how to think, and I don't know why I came around to that. Oh no, now I forgot where the caboose was going with that. But it's like, stop telling people how to think, please, because I've had people tell me all my life. But thanks for helping me complete the forum because it really did help. I got some wins. Where was I going with that? What were we talking about, Eric? Oh God, I went right.
I don't know where you were going. I don't know where you were going with that one.
I don't know where I'm going either. No, it's just been a bit of an emotional week for me, I think. I never heard about
bring it back to where we were.
This year, maybe last year. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah, where were we?
Well,
You
no,
remember?
I know where we were. Okay. Basically, I think one of the things that really helps me, okay, which is what we're doing here, and I'm assuming helps you and others, is it really is something, there's something tremendously God, what's the word, man? But it's there's something comforting about knowing that you understand the absolute massive, off the charts psychoses I had to deal with on the daily. Okay. Let alone the church. and everything I had to go through every day. Okay. But just at home. So,
Just at home.
you know, and I'm traveling, he drove me there and back. And it was just, so hearing our stories, no matter how grotesque, they're incredibly common. And it's just so comforting, makes me feel like it's not the right word, because obviously I'm not happy anyone had to go through 1 second of the fuck I did. But so it doesn't seem like the right word, but it always is nice to know you're not the only one. You know what I mean? Like, because then you feel like such an ass. You're like, how did I win the shithead Olympics? You know?
Well, right, exactly. So up until like 2 years ago, I've had this part of my life that's been very frustrating and mind fucking, and I couldn't share that with anyone because no one really understood. Oh, I've seen Leah Remini show. Okay, but they still don't understand Scientology, right? So there's this
Right.
part of my life that I've always kind of had to hold on to, and oh my God, and now I'm finding out there's all these other people that went through the same, well, and worse, and they understand me and I understand them. Like, that in itself to me has been so very healing.
Yeah.
Like I said, like you said, it's sad to know anyone else went through this, or, you know, but like my dad said, I survived. I made it through.
Yeah.
It wasn't my choice, but kids can't consent. But yeah,
When you go through enough strife early, if there is such a thing as an upside, you really do look to see how you can improve today more so, like right now, and really appreciate shit, because you know how, there was a time where every minute took an hour. So
yeah.
and when you're in the middle of that, you just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's just nothing.
No, you feel like it's going to be this way forever, and it's just
Right.
like, why is any of us doing any of this?
Yeah.
Is it just me? No, this is horrible. Can I just get off now? Can I stop the
Yeah.
bus? No.
I mean, I'm a kid and I'm thinking, at what point are they going to throw me out of here? Because they didn't want me to begin with. My dad didn't want me to begin with, right? So it was a very natural thought. It was very easy for my head to go there, you know?
Yeah. My
So-
dad got my mom pregnant just so it would keep her busy. That's me. Go ahead. I gave your mother a wee bit of havingness. Oh, you called me Cheryl, though. You could have called me a wee bit of havingness. Asshole. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, it's you really, coupled with youth and coupled with the knowing that it could be or what if it is possible that I pulled all that shit in, or to have the worst family and the worst religion and the worst every day I could possibly have guaranteed to me on a fucking silver platter. Like, you feel like, oh my God, man, and if this is what I have to do, I don't want to do it. Right. So that's why people unalive themselves, because they just can't confront that there's not an end to it. Right. Because not having anywhere to go is, it's one of the most
Loneliest.
well, not only loneliness, but like it's so claustrophobic and angst ridden, right? So it's just your space becomes small but unlivable, and it just gets stronger and stronger, and you just go, I can't handle this 6 months ago. I'm gonna break, at some point. And so it's always in my head that it's gonna even get worse.
Yes. What am I whining about now? This is gonna get worse. And that's me being, trying to be an optimist about life too. Oh wait, that's a realist. That's what I am, an optimist. Yeah. Things are just gonna get worse. Oh shit. I can't ask anyone for help because I pull this in, and now I'm gonna be shamed by what's going on, and I don't get help on top of it. Oh yeah, well that's just a slap in the face, isn't it? Yeah, it's
No. So yeah, it's one of those things where you say to yourself, it's like a private hell that just you just cannot believe you're a part of. And like I said, comic books saved my world because it was the only thing where I could jump out of that box for 20 minutes, and I would just pass out reading them because it was the only way I could go to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep thinking about my worksheets, you know what I mean? So it was the only way to get my mind off it. And like I said, there's no one to talk to. And the truth is, even if I had someone say, hey man, you can talk to me, you can tell me anything, and they were so awesome like you that I believed them, I still wouldn't do it because I didn't want, if you were that awesome, I wouldn't risk losing you by you fucking finding out that I'm insane.
Yes, exactly.
So even if you luck out, it doesn't help. You can't.
And like, this is a really long story. Where do I even start to explain half of this before we even get to why I'm pissed off today? Like, this is gonna take. No, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it.
No, exactly. And then I just didn't understand why I was always so upset, and it's because of not confronting. Well, because I was supposed to be this. I kept trying to be that, and I didn't get anywhere. So yeah, now I'm just being weird. Now I just like being old and weird, and no one gets to tell me who I am or what to do. So,
yeah, it's really weird that like, a lot of our childhoods start, if at all, in your 50s. I mean, because you have to be in a spot where your time is your own and you can control the day. But again, I think that if there was a plus point to all that hell, was that it really made me steer clear of other hell, look for it. And that's why BS Incinerator is the name I chose, because that's what it gave me. Growing up in Hollywood and seeing every scam that's ever been firsthand, and Scientology, right? I could sniff shit out. The guy is 3/4 of a block away, and I'm like, oh no, that's the gas can trick thing, but he's gonna go into the whole thing. You're gonna be $5 shy. And my mom would still give him the $5. I'm like, son of a bitch, But every scam there ever was, I saw by the time I was 10. So I already was I lost my innocence so early, and it was forced out of me.
Right. Yeah, we had to grow up real quick, didn't we? Yeah.
Well, not only did I have to grow up, I had to take care of 45-year-olds and their issues. Okay. Think of it that way.
That's creepy. That's just wrong in so many levels.
Tell me about it. It's incredibly wrong. And people would dump on me every day. Lunchtime, people love taking me to lunch, and they would dump all their shit on me. They get a free hour of therapy, and by buying me a sandwich,
I just want to eat my tuna melt. Fuck off, leave me alone. Shut up.
And they would say, you know, you're so great and they're so put together and it must be so amazing, you know, to be in a family like yours. And of course I'm like, oh, thank you, and that's so cool and I really appreciate that and all that. And I'm just like, you know,
That didn't feel real though. It was just all a facade, isn't
so
it?
it was
It's the
100% bullshit. Like I said, it
That's
was
all
just the same as the people going yay at a North Korean parade. You're just making
Yeah.
damn sure no one sees you on tape going like this. You know what I mean? So in my head, was I doing that? Of course. I used to get nauseous just at the fucking LRH picture in our house. You know, I'm like, that son of a bitch is looking at us eat. You know, and you know how embarrassing that shit was.
My dad didn't put up a picture of LRH. I mean, books everywhere, but at least he didn't put. That would have really pissed me off. One picture of me and my daughter, and no.
It's insane. You know, and then of course he's the only one not on. It's always the cultiest of the culty people would be the ones who could never talk to me about Scientology. They could only make me wrong if I said something they didn't like about Scientology. And they were never on lines. They always stayed home. So it was the most ridiculous, out of whack thing anyway, that he's going to tell me when I have more training. You know, but he's like, I listened to the doctorate tapes, you know, 77 times. Who gives a shit? I listened to bullshit 300 times. Am I smarter now? Like,
Right.
so,
I read The Lord of the Rings 3 times.
I mean, I've seen Scarface 150 times. I get it, you know?
I've seen The Fifth Element 127 times, and it just keeps getting better every time. So yeah, like, how does that improve conditions anyway? How does that? How did any of that you've read that 37 times? How does that improve conditions for anyone anyway? That's what I want to know. I want them to show me actual proof of better conditions. I don't see them anywhere.
I got my dad so pissed off with this one argument that he had to go into the I'm not choosing to not confront you. Like I no longer wish to give or receive communication with you. And it's like, you little prick. It's because I just owned your ass with this shit.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
I've got that one before, and that one is frustrating. That one is, yes, I no longer like they just put up a wall. They put up a wall. And you're like, I need you to listen to this in particular. They don't want to hear it. Pivot, walk away, and they just block you off as if you're not alive. It's the most demeaning, dehumanizing.
What my dad would use as his ace card to talk to some Neverit who was maybe leaning towards Scientology, maybe is some bullshit. He would say, because he would, this was his ace card, right? First, he's like, well, first of all, it's not like a religion per se, it's an applied religious philosophy. The fuck are you yamming her about? You know, you doesn't mean anything. You just said a bunch of stupid shit. And then he would go, it's a way to just make your life better in every area, and da 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 da. And if someone would go like, so what do you believe in? Like, and push him, like, the guy wants to say, he wants him to say something so he can say, see, that's something I'm not into. I couldn't do that. So my dad would never let it happen. So he would say, like, the guy would go, okay, so like he will. Maybe if my dad started talking about reactive mind, right, then someone could start talking about how do you know that's even real or whatever. And so what he would say is, look, here's the thing: you can't disprove Scientology. It's impossible, because if it's not true for you, it's not true. That's the biggest bullshit thing that's said in the entire religion itself. There is, to me, not one bigger lie than if it isn't true for you, it isn't true, because that is 100% untrue.
Totally. It's the biggest, that's the hook. That's the hook. We can make your life better, which we all want, and all of us have some shit. We can make your life better. You can make your own life better. And then that one. And that's it, because that's a spiritual hook. That's an emotional spiritual hook.
That's how they get you in.
Whatever you believe in your head. I mean, there are people on meds because of what they believe is going on in their heads. But if you believe it's true, that is the biggest hook. It's the biggest falsity.
Yep.
It's the biggest falsity.
That's what they use to get you in the door. Because the first lie is when you say, hey, I'm a Southern Baptist, and they say, hey, no big deal. You can be a Jewish, Southern Baptist, you could be anything. You could be Muslim and be a Scientologist. Well, we all know that's 100% lie. You have to give up every last thing you ever thought of in any other thing ever, and replace it wholly 100% to the syllable with LRH. So that's 100% lie. But if you couple that with, if it isn't true for you, it isn't true, buddy. You have nothing to lose, my brother. Come on in. Those are two lies that they need you to believe to get in there. Because if they told you, we're going to shit all over your Southern Baptist thing, just give us a little bit. Okay.
Right. yeah.
Just give us a year or two. We'll get that one good. And
because with that lie, you're set up already. Now you're set up to just keep bouncing around stuff in your head, and all they're doing is feeding the. You totally trust them now, and they're just feeding you lines, and you're just bouncing them around inside your head. But it's that lie in particular, because it's true for me. Yes, that feels right. That feels great. That's the lie, that you get anchored into yourself. You get stuck inside of yourself. And once that happens, I think it's a really hard way out from the cult. Now you're stuck in a cult. Now you're mentally, emotionally stuck in that cult. And it's because you believe anything that goes going, because they're not there to invalidate anything you see. Oh, wow. Yeah, look, I was Cleopatra. Like, we said, everyone's someone famous at some point. Not me. I was a hunchback with one eye and one tooth, and I had to drag myself around the forest because I lived under a tree. Like, that's who I've seen I was in my past life. I've never seen Cleopatra. But they won't invalidate that, though. They're not there to invalidate anything you're doing. So you just keep believing these pictures in your head. And as primeval beings, our brains do things sometimes that aren't good for us, or they make us see things to try and keep us, it's coping mechanisms or a survival thing. But so you can't believe everything that goes on in your head. You just can't. It's a dark and lonely place in there. Don't stay in there too long. Come out and play with the rest of us. Yeah. But that's what they do. You get locked. And especially with that one line, oh my God, if it's true for you, if you believe it, then you can believe anything. It doesn't matter. You can believe anything and you can make it true. Yeah. And that's just creating a whole lot of nonsense.
But my dad would hide behind that and say, this way you can never get to a point where you can actually speak on something you find. How I could just come right out to you and say, Clear was oversold so desperately that it's a joke. How can anyone who's gone clear continue going on? Especially how you became clear. That is insane. I would have been so pissed. I'd have demanded my money back. You could have told me this shit after the comm course, okay, for $30. And it should have come with fucking 2 movie tickets, okay? Right. So, but yet you made me do 17,000 hours of mind control to then tell me this, okay?
Yeah, right.
But I can't remember where my car is parked. I forgot to get cottage cheese.
I still wear glasses.
I can't see
I've
shit.
Got a limp.
My nose is running.
I can't hear out of this ear. I got a sinus infection. But yeah, I'm clear. I'm clear as a bell.
I mean, my dad, half the week, his head was so red, veins were popping out of it, and I'm supposed to know he's clear and he's here comfortably? He's staving off strokes 3 times a week, and he's here comfortably. What the fuck?
Right.
If that's comfortable.
Oh, I know. Oh God, yeah, no, it's hard to have a Scientology for a dad, Scientologist father. It's oh my God. But see,
Yeah.
and it's really weird because I thought I was the only one that had a weird dad like this. So did you. It's great to be able to share this with someone because I'm sorry, it's really freaking weird. Some of the stuff my dad said to me, and it's like, I've been gaslit so much. I should just change my name to Annie Gaslight because this stuff, and see, like you're bringing it all up too. The stuff your dad would say to you, some stuff my dad would say to me, and it would be so frustrating. So frustrating. Especially when he didn't want to hear anymore. Well, when I had questions, I started asking him questions about things. And I started watching videos on YouTube, Hannah Eltringham. I'm like, there's this lady called Hannah Eltringham. And he just kind of looked at me. And I'm like, oh, he goes, I remember her. She's I'm like, oh, you know her? Yeah, she was the captain of the first ship we were on. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, how many other people had a dad who joined a fake Navy near Cyprus in the Mediterranean to go chase alien beings? Like, how many?
But I like your dad. I like your dad way better because he actually went out and did that. My dad would just talk about that. Okay.
Oh, okay.
My dad was your dad on the couch. Okay.
Oh, that's horrible. Because my dad on the couch really annoyed me. Oh, that man was very annoying. No, yeah, he did. Yeah, no, you're right. He did. He got up and he went out and he did it. Apparently, he said he blew 3 times, but he would always go back. And then when my cousin was declared, she got in trouble. She screamed she was at the sandcastle doing her upper levels. And I don't know. I don't remember what had happened that day, but she got really mad. And she's like, that's it. Let me out. They won't let me leave. She started banging pots and pans along the balcony. LRH was a liar, blah, blah, blah. She started saying all this shit. And they finally kicked her out. So when she got declared, my dad got called back in. And I mean, at this point, he really hadn't been on lines for years or anything, right? So, but he didn't want to be looked down upon. He had to be in good standing with them. He had to be. And that's disgusting. You're not even part of them anymore, but you still feel like he never did anything for me. And look what all the stuff he did for Scientology, and it really pisses me off.
Yeah. I mean, put it like this. If the technology existed today, back when I was a kid, I would have blown the doors off that place and probably been homeless or whatever. But I know I would have done it. I would have filmed my dad being a two-faced asshole, acting like he's one way, and then showing you 2 minutes later that he's actually Luciferian and out of fucking black marble. And I would have shown that. I would have recorded how they talked to me, how they would speak to me. And like I said, I can't tell you the quagmire that did to my head, where I can't talk. I can't use the language that I use on course at home. And I can't even let other people know I'm even aware of any of this or what I actually am doing. Like my grandparents and my aunt and uncles, like they would have shit. Okay. You think they didn't like Scientology? That my rest of my family hated Scientology, but they didn't know anything about it. they would
Yeah,
have pulled me out of there with the SWAT team. They would have got a SWAT team and got me out of it. Okay. So I would have at any cost, but there was no way to record anything. There was no way to do anything back then, anything electronic. If you remember a fucking Coleco handheld football game I had when I was 9 cost like $42, which back then was like $1 million.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean,
You
hell,
had
back then
Wow.
the batteries cost more than like my dad got me the remote control car, but he wouldn't buy me batteries, right? So great, you know, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But I would have blown the doors off the whole fucking thing. I would have.
I just didn't really know. All I know is, I didn't really know. I just knew when I was around my dad and his side of the family that things were different. They were really weird and they weren't normal and they weren't like the other side. And I just had to be different, you know, both sides judge me. Yeah, it was just horrible either way. But now it's really healing. Like my mom's side of the family, just a bunch of dysfunctional psychos. And I went to a lot of therapy for that. It's this side that now I'm being able to heal. That really is, it's massive. It's huge to be able to do it, to sit here and laugh with people about it. To laugh with people about it is the best. Is the best.
You got to keep reminding me of that, because that is really powerful. And these are things that I would never in my wildest dreams think I would have ever laughed about.
Like, dude, seriously, just go into, we haven't even, just starting with the logics, just going through, we don't even have to get into the book deep before you're already cracking up going, what the hell? This is all, what a load of disconcerting twat waffleness.
I think I got 4 paragraphs in before I fucking came unglued. So I figure we'll be done with this by late 32.
Yeah. This series is going to take a while, guys. Okay, this is how effed up we are. We can't even get to cracking the book that we're supposed to be doing a thing on. We're like, oh, I don't know. Sounded like a good idea, but we'll get there eventually.
I love having to confront it, though, because I'm not doing it alone. In other words, like, I could not pull this off as easily on my own. Knowing that I'm going to hear your thoughts on it is actually tremendously entertaining to me, because like, that was one of the things that I really, really wanted to hear. And I really want the chat to comment. Okay. Like, when we do go over some tech issues, okay, or whether it's a paragraph or a chapter or page, whatever, in one of these books, or an HCOB or HCOPL, what have you, I would love to get Neverin's opinions. What does that make you think of? What does it make you feel when you hear that? Do you just say, crazy bastard, or does it then make you think of this, or does it make you think of JWs or whatever you went through? Does it remind you of something, or is it just clinically, uniquely insane? What does it make you think of? You know, because I know what Scientologists say, and I know what I was supposed to say, and I know what I would say in private, and I could only now even share that. So, but I'm really curious about what people who never were involved in this horrific place, what does it make you think when you hear those certain stable datums, you know, of Scientology that we all hung from, and or people used to defend themselves, or to defend the religion, or its practices? That really interests me. So please, if you're ever going to leave a comment, make sure you do that on these shows, because I want to go back and see what you guys think.
Yeah, because we had, like you said, we had to grow up with it. So we had to like split ourselves off from normal humanity. And we were like, we had this extra little area of our lives where it turned like it turned you into someone always looking at it. Turned me into an empath. That's what I became, hyper vigilant of people's faces. Like I can walk in a room and and you can just feel everyone already just by the look on their face. You can tell what's going on. You become very hyper vigilant in a subliminal way, because you're always sitting there in fight or flight wondering what the hell is going to happen next. So that's how I was raised from real little, without guidance and without love, but with that hypervigilance, because I had to be my own parent. I had to guide myself. So yeah, we have this split off view. I see things this way, but there's also, it comes from here. I want to know what everyone else feels about some of the things we talk about that we've been through, because it's not normal. And do you relate in any way? Do you relate in any way? Because
I just thought of a way of describing this. I hope I can remember. Where, okay, you know how when you see Tom Cruise talk in that black turtleneck, right? And he just looks like a fucking crazy super loop. Yeah. I mean, bad shit. Okay. So that's what I'm used to looking at all day, every day. And this is where I had this urge to, like, I loved going to the park to see real emotions and to see kids having a good time, and their mom or dad, playing with them, and like what looked normal, what I thought always a family was supposed to be like, which was the polar fucking opposite of mine, right? And I would see someone get more hugs in 40 minutes than I got in a year. So it's like, to hear them clapping and laughing, that was my medicine back then, and it is funny because it's always attracted me, like seeing people anywhere, like in a weird way, like what I liked going to Disneyland was to see people who I wanted to be in their family. So
I would always put myself in line with another family as if I belonged to them. Yeah.
And I would be like, even at the sign, right, at night, it's so healthy for me to see just people smiling and happy
and enjoying themselves.
Yeah. As some of the most special moments they're ever going to have, and I'm able to witness them. I'm literally there while it's happening.
I want to play a game. As they're walking up to the sign, it's either Jesus pose pointing or flamingo. We've got to start making bets. You're in Vegas. Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I love watching it. It cracks me up.
But my favorite is when you see, I don't know why, but I just love, big grandparents. I just love them. Not that you can't be the greatest grandparent in the world and be skinny, but I just love big grandparents. And because it just makes me think that there must be lots of cookies at their house and shit. And
Right.
and like they can give you better hugs and climb all over them. And you'll see these kids and they just got these smiles like this, and they're with their parents and their grandparents, and they're just loving life, right? And I'm like, oh man, it's such an incredible thing. Like,
I'm really glad
and
that
you can feel it. You can
that.
totally feel it, just like you can feel the love people have for each other sometimes,
Right.
And not even the ones getting married, but people who just kiss them sometimes.
Well, see, when you are like that, when you're around people you like and you love, especially love, there's a lot of love that shows up there at that corner. Everyone's releasing oxytocin. Oxytocin is a hormone. It's a pheromone, and it's freaking catching. So that's why everyone feels the love. That's why it's a good spot to be. It's a good vibe, good place to be. You can tell it's so lovely. I love watching the people out there getting the happy on, and all the groups of girls when they do their awkward bending over because some of them are taller than others, and their little butts are sticking out, and they're all awkward standing there. It's like that doesn't look good. I hope the picture looks good.
Now the one that cracks me up the most of all now, because it's changed a bunch, but now this is the one that got me the most. Is okay, Joe Schmo, like he's not dressed up, he don't care obviously much about it. He's not even doing this or nothing, right? He's right, and he stands there for 30 seconds. You're like, what in the fuck is taking so long? Number one, because he's not even changed nothing. But then he walks over, and they go, no, and they make him go back. What did you fucking miss? What did you miss? He didn't move for 30 seconds. You couldn't take one picture. Like, I totally understand it with the woman who's doing the thing and the whatever, the fucking, okay, she's working. She lives in fucking Fort Dodge, Iowa. She knows she ain't coming back here for 15 years easy. Okay. So she's taking everything she can think of. And like for me, because I have no social media presence, I purposely completely ignored it. But like Instagram's a big deal, especially if you're from these places in Manitoba.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And you can feel like that excitement when 6, 7 dudes are looking sharp, and like they just got there. They're going to get these pictures in because they know they're all going to be in separate trash cans later, or upside down in a broom closet at the fucking Mandalay Bay for some reason. And so they're going to get them in now. Okay. But you could feel the energy. These guys are going to go kill it here in a minute, and they're loving it, right? And you can feel that same energy when there's 6, 7 chicks in red sparkly shit and their best shoes and their best everything and their best bags. They're going to take these pictures, and tonight is the most important night of their life. They're going to fuck shit up, and you can feel it.
I've been that girl in Vegas. I've been that girl in Vegas. I've even gotten kicked out of a club for being too inebriated. That's how good I did in Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can feel it there. You can feel the excitement. You can feel everyone's pretty happy going there. So that's a really nice. Now, why is girls' shoes, they're all big. They're wearing these big clodhoppers. I don't think they look very attractive, but that's me. And I like wearing Dr. Martens. But some of those clodhopper sandals look awful.
What do you think about the huge? I think some of them look really cute. Vans and Converse have some big, thick ass high tops.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Converse all day. Whichever shape, color, style, absolutely.
Cute as hell.
Yes. Dr. Martens, Converse, I'm very limited in my shoe wear. And Birkenstocks. But I know I love watching your streams because they are pretty friggin' funny. Chunky anime sneakers. Well, I've got a pair of chunky anime sneakers. That's what I wear on a Friday night when I go protest because they're comfortable and they're like platform black sneakers. They're really comfy.
Yeah, I think I could almost tell how many times some women have been there by what they're wearing, Yeah. Great gig.
Anime sneakers. Yep, that's them things. I got a pair. We got some questions.
Okay, we got it. Yeah, because I actually got to hard out here in about 5 minutes. I gotta go.
Okay, buckled up buttercup. Oh, wait, here it is. I can show it, can't I? I kind of enjoy the weird terminology list with F-bombs. Calling people terminals. Whatever does stable data mean? How do I develop traffic? Always wanted to do that. So stable datum is just anything that LRH wrote that you can regurgitate, you can repeat, you can
like something like okay, what comes up must come down would be like a stable datum, right? Something that doesn't change no matter what. It's always going to be fact, no matter how you come at it. 2 + 2 is 4, whatever, that kind of shit. And but I love weird terminology list with F bombs.
That's my favorite. The F bombs, yes, for sure. And then how do I develop traffic? You just be born into the world and you are Dev T. If you're in the way, that's develop traffic. If you're the person that walks around the supermarket and then realizes that you're in everyone's way, that's Dev T. If you're stopping your parent from doing Scientology because you just want to play with them and need a hug, that's also Dev T. So,
just like if you're at 31 flavors and you ask to taste more than one flavor, you are fucking Dev T.
Dev T. If you ask for anything to a Scientology parent, you're Dev T. Oh, we could do like you're a redneck, but you're Dev T. So yeah, Dev T just means develop traffic getting in the way, being a pain in the ass. And apparently I was really good at that. And that's why I had a t-shirt made that says Dev T on it. Hey girl, real question, not the fake ones. Do either of you feel changed by the support of the people in your channels? Yes.
Of course.
I've made friends with people. I text with people. People send me messages that have done so much for me, emotionally, for my heart, for my brain. I'm just so overwhelmed and grateful to a lot of people in this community, a lot of people in the chat, most of you, all of you, actually. I know it's very healing for me. It's really helped me. How about you, Eric?
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best thing that's happened, and it's worth all the bullshit I went through. It's worth it because of it. So, I don't know how I would have ever found you or any of these people, and let alone have them be part of my life, and had people want to support me and want to, just quite. I could even make it easier than that. The fact that someone was even interested in people like you and I absolutely broke my heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can't even talk about it. That's how rough that is. I can't even talk about it because it's so amazing to me. And it's so refreshing and rewarding to realize that, because when you're in our position, you don't think anything good's going to happen. You just don't. So
there comes a point where you lose faith.
You get tired of hoping, So, it's whatever bad that has come from this that I've had to deal with and bullshit. I have, that's fine because I figured that was coming. What you can't really hope for, but that we did get, was an incredible family of amazing people that really have our backs and understand us and are here for the right reasons. And it's so refreshing and it's so nice. And the truth is, we really are outside. Like I said this the other week, if the worst thing in the world happened and every cool person in this movement got abducted, by aliens or whatever, and you're out in Mars, I have a family now that can still come with me, and I have a channel I already built that I've already done everything I need to do. I just need to get people to it. And if you're on my channel for any length of time, you're going to know my message. And that's all I need to do. I don't have to do anything else. I did all the work.
Right. Exactly. That's just it. Yeah.
So anyway, but was there, what was the comment? I didn't get to see it.
Oh, really? Hold on.
That you pointed to?
Oh, what was the other? Yeah, I just put out. What was that one? Hold on.
Oh yeah, okay, I saw that one. I thought one came after that. I don't
We
know.
are major BS survivors. Jessica LaBarbera. Hi, Jess. Yep. We are major BS survivors. Just gas in our faces. Like, the stuff our fathers. So I guess this has been the Father's Day stream. The
Yeah,
stuff that our fathers said to us was just, even as kids, I'm sitting there going, this isn't right. Like within me, I knew it wasn't right. And
yeah,
I was always told I wasn't right. I was wrong for thinking the way I did. And I'm glad that I'm right. In the end, I'm right.
yeah, yeah. Well, that was awesome. I got to run. Thank you so much
You,
for doing this
Eric.
with me. It is something I truly look forward to. It is fabulous. And next week we'll do a much longer show. I need like 2 hours for me to even feel like I started. So,
I know, right? I know.
you
Next
know,
week we'll do a longer. We're getting
we'll,
better
we'll,
though. We at least answered questions today too. I mean, when do we know that? So we're getting better.
all
All right,
right.
love. Have a lovely rest of your day, and
Thank
everyone
you.
else, be
I'll
good
see
to each
everybody
other.
later. Thank you so
Behave.
much. Take care. Bye, everybody.